Let's talk about your cell phone and ways people try to protect themselves with the VPNs and locking down their cell phones. Dan, Howley, you understand these issues much better than most of us. Explain.
Yeah, so if you are security conscious, you're looking to avoid hackers, advertisers, or being tracked by government agencies, then a VPN is really the best way to protect yourself online. So let me give you an idea of what a VPN is and what issues you might run into if you have one. Think of a VPN as basically a wormhole through the internet. Now, when you have your regular internet, you start from your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, and you go through the public internet to the website that you want to access. But while your data goes through the public web, it's able to be seen by advertisers. Hackers can see it if they try, and then certain government agencies are able to see that as well. Now, if you use a VPN, what you're doing is making this wormhole that's fully encrypted and secured that goes on its own journey through the internet, and then it exits out to the website you want to see. The data that you want to get through that website is then sent back to that wormhole and to your device. And while it's in transit, it's encrypted. No one can get access to it. And what you end up doing is giving yourself what's called a new IP address. Now, your IP address, think of it as your mailing address for your device. When you have your regular internet, that's how you're able to be tracked. But with a VPN, your IP address is changed to what that VPN offers. So that way you can appear, if you're in the US, you want to appear that you're in the UK, or in the UK, you want to appear that you're in the US. You're able to do that by spoofing locations. So it's a good way for security, but there are some issues that you may run into with certain apps and devices. There's Netflix, for instance, does not allow people to use VPNs when you're trying to view content. And that's because they want to have different agreements in different regions for certain licensing of different shows. You also, if you want to use something like a Google Chromecast, and you need to connect to your own in-home Wi-Fi, you won't be able to use a VPN because it'll think that it's coming from the UK or South Africa or something along those lines rather than your own home. So it won't function. When you do want to sign up for a VPN, though, you want to look at what those services collect as far as data goes. Remember, this is all about security. So you want to make sure that the VPN you're using is reputable. And some of the two that I really like are NordVPN and Private Internet Access. I've used both of them.
Those two you like. I want you to say the names again slowly so people can write it down. But do you have to pay for it, or is it free?
You have to pay for them. They're very cheap. I mean, Private Internet Access is about $7 a month. NordVPN, NORD VPN, same price. And basically, they will provide you with this service. They don't collect any data. In fact, when you look at their privacy menu, they basically say, we don't collect anything outside of what we need to make our app function properly, which is basically just Google Analytics. But they don't collect timestamps of when you sign on, how much data you use while you're on there, where you visited, anything along those lines. It's all not collected. They won't have any information on you whatsoever. So if you're into privacy, a VPN is the way to go.
Dan, does this prevent police from tracking you if you're at a protest? Because can't you be tracked just by your phone being pinged on a tower?
It can, yeah. You can be tracked through being pinged. A VPN can prevent things along those lines. It can prevent tracking from hostile governments, as well as if you're trying to avoid something along those lines with a protest, yes. If you're traveling overseas, I just recommend getting a VPN regardless. There are certain countries that you go to where as soon as you land, you are going to be tracked. So it's a better idea to use a VPN while traveling or in any kind of instance where you don't want to have a government following you.
Dan, there are times when you do want your phone to be tracked, or at least you want a phone to be tracked. There have been some phones apparently stolen during the looting that has taken place over the past week, and Apple actually can track them if they're iPhones, right?
Yes. So basically what's going on here is Apple has a device, a feature on your own iPhone and my own iPhone that allows you to track it. And it allows you to put up a message saying, you stole my phone, or this phone has been missing, please return it. So Apple does this to some of the phones that are on display in their own stores so that when it's stolen, or if it's stolen, it will show a signal saying this phone needs to be returned to, for instance, in Philadelphia, the Chestnut Street store. Someone posted a picture of their own a phone that was stolen and showing that message. Please return this phone to the Chestnut Street store, it has been disabled. And it's something that Apple allows because it lets them, A, track where those devices are. So if they have to get law enforcement involved, they can. And B, allows those devices to be returned to the proper location.
Dan, if I'm one of the store owners who unfortunately got looted, do I have the ability to have Apple essentially make the phone worthless and just wipe it clean? Do they have that kind of data, numbers, serial numbers, all of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, once they turn that feature on where they're able to track the phone and lock it, it's just a hunk of junk. It's the exact same way that you or I, when our phones are stolen. If your personal phone is stolen, use your iCloud account and lock your phone, because then it is just it's an expensive paperweight, basically. And that's what Apple's doing to these devices. Now, whether or not they're getting law enforcement involved, it's unclear, but it's obvious that they don't want looters to get the idea that they can steal these devices and then go selling them. It's just not going to work.
All right. And Dan Howley, once again, the VPNs are NORD. And what was the other one?
Private internet access.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.